Whether you're here because you need help or because you just want to watch some satisfying videos, I'm glad you clicked, because this video is about the strategy and the equipment needed to wash screens, to take care of screen enclosures specifically. What's the strategy? I'll show you what I did. I'll show you my approach. And if you stick around long enough, you're gonna see a really exciting one that looks like this. Okay, that's enough of a preview. I'm gonna get right to the details. How on earth do you wash one of these things? Let's get into it. This is why you have to get your angles and check it out, because you won't be able to see it straight on, but just rinse this and just shows you the difference between this and these last two that I have for the inside. All right, so we're walking in together, and you can see this is actually after I have done some treatment onto these pavers. You cannot use a surface cleaner on these. Please do not use high pressure and the surface cleaner on these. This is low pressure. This is at the most 150 PSI. So that'll work for this. The chemicals have done a lot of the work, but as you'll see, 150 PSI is enough to clean off a paver once you've treated it. So I'm gonna do that at scale. It's gonna take me a while. Those bubbles, or you can see the chemical treatment. It's making those bubbles. I'm using chlorinated bleach, sodium hypochlorite. I'm gonna take a second to point this out really quick. So I actually started, let's get a wide view here. I started, because I'm not washing underneath here and I want to be careful of these lights. I started here. Actually, I started here, not the corner, because this side slants out. Started here. I threw everything that I washed here up onto that next one. I went down this row, and then I came back and I went down this row. Not all the way on the corner. You see where those slant? I went up here, and then I start this row, and I went over, again, blasting everything that direction over onto these screens. Came down to the end, then I changed my pace, and I went ahead and went on that corner, because I did have to treat some of the lichen that was growing on these screens with chemical. So as I'm doing this chemical treatment, I sprayed this. So then I go to this side, and these, not that, these went down the edge to where the flat ones are going that way, blasting everything this direction. And I'm just using water, not chemicals, by the way. Didn't need chemicals for this part. And also, I'd caution you, because everything beneath here is gonna get wet, because you're blasting all your water through. Go down, and then I went here, and I went across. And once I got all of these done, then I went this way. I kind of split. So I went this way, down this way. I did this one, then I did that corner, then I did this corner, then I went to this side, and I went down these. I started with the top middle, because again, they're blasting. I did this side away from the house, and that was my last one on the top. Then I came down here. I went from the house out, and I went on the outside coming in, so I'm blasting my water toward the camera here, toward the pool, went all the way around, finished there, did as much as I could do behind the bushes. I can't reach behind that, but that's understood. I'm not gonna be able to blast back in, so it's gonna be clean from this side, because you can't visually see anything from through those bushes anyway. And now I'm coming inside, and I currently haven't done it, but what I'm gonna do is follow that same path from the inside and go out on these upper levels. See this little rail? I'm gonna do the upper part, okay, all the way around. Then I'm gonna rinse the pool deck. Then I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna do this lower below the rail. That way I'm never taking anything from above and dirtying what I'm doing, so you're not wasting your time. That's what I did. Okay, so you may be thinking, okay, you're using a soft washing system. What do I use? What tip do I use? Do I use a pressure washer? Do I use some sort of electric pump? Well, today I'm using a trailer with an AR pump, and that's what it looks like. It's an electric powered pump. It runs off of the generator over there, and it pumps out normally between 140 and 160 psi maximum pressure. But the thing that makes that possible to do it on one that's not as dirty initially is the gallons per minute. So that's supposed to pump out around 10 gallons per minute, which is what makes the difference. There are cases where it would not be enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you on this video some pictures and videos of one that I did previously. So the one you're looking at now was a really, really underquoted and neglected screened-in enclosure for a pool. And I'd done this one previously and wanted to just show this to you because it does matter what you're getting off of the screen and when's the last time it was cleaned. I had to use not only soft washing, so I had to use a chemical treatment on all of it, absolutely all of it, but I also had to use pressure on every bit of it as well. And this one took me a long time to finish. As you can see, it was a lot more than I anticipated. So that kind of shows you the difference between the two that I was working on. Now, you may have questions about it. When I did use a pressure washer, which usually it's the best bet because you can have a wider fan of spray, I admit, totally plan to do this with a pressure washer, but be careful of the PSI, be careful of what tip you use. Don't use anything smaller or narrower than a 25-degree tip. So that pretty much leaves you at a 25-degree or a 40-degree is the normal, the green tip or the white tip on most household pressure washers. That is just gonna kind of give you kind of a safe boundary, and don't get too close because screens can easily be ripped and easily be pressure washed right through. That just will give you a nice clean pattern. I've done a lot of screens with that, keeping my distance, being careful, and you're not gonna have problems with the screens coming out. If you have any other questions about screens, I hope that me showing you how I did it and the strategy behind it was more helpful necessarily than, you know, all the details about equipment. This really isn't an equipment video, but I did kind of just let you see what I was doing, again, with a 10 gallon a minute unit. That's how I did it today because this one wasn't extremely dirty. It was more of a maintenance clean. If it's extremely dirty like the other one you saw, prepare yourself. You're gonna need chemicals and you're gonna need a lot of time with a pressure washer. And I used a 25-degree tip when I did that one, but you may find something that works better depending on the condition, depending on, you know, how much time you have. So that's it. That's it for this pressure washing content video. I hope that you've enjoyed it and got something from it. If you have, I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. There's other stuff on this channel, so you may find that helpful. I've actually made a playlist that you can click on right here, and that'll lead you to some other stuff that you might find helpful, especially if you're just starting out, either washing your own place or maybe you're starting your own pressure washing business. I've had a lot of fun doing this. It's good to be back. It's good to be making some more videos that are actually seeing the light of day on YouTube. I've got a lot more backlog that I need to edit, but you're seeing this because I care and I'm excited, and it's a new year to do all of these pressure washing videos. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being here, and I will see you with some fresh content sometime. Not today, sometime later, sometime in the future. So, all right, off to the next one.